All right, girls. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I'm recording this on a Monday for all of you, but this will work at any point in your journey if you are using these beautiful little containers, okay? So it is Thanksgiving week. I want to give you a few tips as we go into the food coma, right? Before we head into the holiday where all of our focus is surrounded around food, or tradition is surrounded by food and eating and overindulging and stuffing and just allowing ourselves to have all the things. And so I want to challenge you to shift your mindset a bit. Thanksgiving is about being thankful and having grace and gratitude for the life and the health that we have. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to eat all of the things and that we have to overindulge on all the foods. I know that that's tradition. I know that that's what most of us have typically done. I know that that's what our families are expecting for us to do. But I also know that we can start making a shift, okay? That we can adjust it. Just because it's a holiday doesn't mean we have to go off the deep end, okay? And throw our goals out the door. Now, on the other side of that, it also doesn't mean that we can't enjoy ourselves a little bit. It's finding that moderation, okay? So that one, we don't undo everything that we've been working so hard to do over the last couple days, couple weeks, couple months, maybe a couple years for you. We want to keep on a path that allows us to stay at a even keel and not be thrown off track, right? So a couple things that you can do to help keep you on track is to, one, eat in the morning of Thanksgiving. Like, I know that I have in the past been guilty of saving all of my calories just for one meal, and then I totally overdo it and I feel like crumb for the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend. So what we can do is we can eat normal meals like we would and we have been, and then just try and keep our portions a bit smaller at Thanksgiving rather than this overflowing plate or multiple servings and multiple servings of dessert and tons of alcohol. Okay. So really think about, okay, let's eat so I'm not starving when I get to Thanksgiving dinner and then totally drop off, right? So that's one thing. Tip number one is to make sure that you're eating through the day, maybe having your Shakeology right before you go, so that way you're not starving when we get there. We've all been hungry when we get home from work or from running errands, or we're out and we're hungry. What happens when we finally eat? Like, we just like shovel it all in and then we feel guilty about it, right? So let's plan ahead, eat through the day, and if you don't have meals until evening, just kind of maybe save a couple of your containers, right? Like, maybe save a yellow or two and have veggies and protein, and try to keep yourself so that you're not in that, oh my God, I'm starving, I am going to totally overdo it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. If you are normally shooting for 90 to 100 ounces, I would up that. Okay, try and up your intake on water, because one, you aren't going to overeat because you're going to be more filled up on water, and two, it's going to help flush your system, keep you hydrated, and keep everything moving along properly. Okay, if you are going to be having some alcohol, maybe a couple glasses of wine or whatever, do one adult beverage, one water. One adult beverage, one water. One, it slows your drinking down, and two, it helps to keep you hydrated because alcohol dehydrates us. Okay, so tip number two is to make sure that you're drinking your water intake and then some, and keep on track with your water. Okay, the next thing I just want to remind you that you are in control of this journey. You are doing this journey for yourself. Okay, now, with that said, there may be family members who are uncomfortable by you making some changes. okay? And they may make snarky remarks, or they may, question why you're not eating certain things or whatever, and just say, that's, I just don't feel like it today, or, I'm trying to avoid eating that so that I don't feel so crummy after today's dinner, or whatever. You don't have to answer to them, and you don't owe them an explanation. Just like you're not asking them why their plate is overflowing. Why did they go back for seconds? Same thing. They don't get permission to question you. And if you are uncomfortable with answering, just say, just not for me today. Just, this is what I'm going to eat. And stand strong in your truth. Do not let them being uncomfortable make you question why you're doing this. You are focused on your goals for a reason. So stay strong and stand in your truth, and know that you are doing this for your health, your happiness, and your goals. You don't have to owe anybody else an explanation, and you don't have to answer anybody else for that. Okay? That's you. All right? The other thing I would like to suggest, so tip number 3, is to decide, or whatever you're taking to share, or if you're not taking a side, take some extra greens with you. Like, I'm going to take a salad, and salad's not a typical Thanksgiving side or dish or whatever, because it's usually like super fatty gravies and heavy foods, starches, potatoes, yams, all that stuff. Because I'm taking a salad because I don't want to feel like crumb. And there will be other people who eat it, but I'm taking it so that keeps me on track. So tip number 3 is to take a dish that is going to help you stay on track and align with your goals that you can share with everyone else. Okay. Another thing that I have done in the past, I haven't decided if I'm doing it this year or not, is taking a healthier alternative for sweets. I've done like little pumpkin muffins with little baby chocolate chips on the top, or something like that. There are tons of recipes out there. But taking something that's more in line with your goals, so that you can feel like you're enjoying and you're participating in this family dinner, but you're not totally losing sight of your goals and the focus that you've had over the last several weeks. Okay. So those are my tips, my 3 tips to help you get through these, this week. Thanksgiving dinners, those rules apply to Christmas family gatherings as well, because I know, like, for us, our Christmases start pretty much right after Thanksgiving, because my husband has an entirely extended family. Like, it's a really big family, and there's a lot of branches of it. So we are constantly going to dinners and things like that. So those are just some tips to help you along the way. Now, meal prepping. So we're going to shift gears. This is not just for this week. Okay. This is for all the time. So meal planning. I have heard you girls, like, you're struggling with making a meal plan. If we do not have a plan in place, we are leaving our goals up to chance and to willpower. Y'all, we are not going to get anywhere leaving our goals up to chance and willpower. We have to write it out. I no longer write mine out, because I know what I'm eating every single day, and my meal plan pretty much stays the same, because I am a creature of habit. Now, I just recently switched to that in the last maybe 2 months, that I'm not actually physically writing it down. So I wrote it down, filled out my containers every single week for several years. Okay. So to keep yourself focused and to keep yourself on track, write it down. Okay, now I know these little guys, as beautiful, I'm going to try and hold all of them. As beautiful as they are, they can be a little overwhelming, right? It's really not that hard. We make this way harder than what it needs to be, okay? So I love the container system because I'm very type A, and it tells me exactly what I need to eat throughout the day. Now, if you are not following like a guided meal plan, like Time Nutrition, and you're just using the container system and you're like, I don't even know where to start, I feel so overwhelmed, like, how do you meal plan? This is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way, but hopefully this will inspire you to get into some sort of a routine for yourself, okay? So when I would plan our meals before I had Time Nutrition, which I will talk about in a minute, I would plan our dinners for the week, okay? So I would plan the meal that I was going to have with my family, see what containers that took from my day that I was allowed to have, right? And I would fill those in. And then, excuse me, I would work my way backwards. So we have 5 meals a day when you're following portion control, okay? Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. Done. Dinner and done, okay? Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. Okay, so I would plan dinner, and then with the other containers I had left, I would fill in. I would typically go from dinner to lunch, then to breakfast, and then I could fill in my 2 snacks with the containers that I was missing. Now, we want to try and space the containers out where you're having 2 to 3 containers of different ones, not like 3 greens in one meal or just 3 reds. You want to do like 2 or 3 containers, or 2 or 3 containers for each meal, so that way our foods are working together and we are actually absorbing what we're taking in, and there is a balance in our meal. Okay, now that's how I used to do it. Then this beautiful little thing called Time Nutrition came out, and at first it was a bit overwhelming for me because I wasn't sure what meals to put in and like how to figure it out. And it took a little bit of playing around with. But the one thing that I do love about Time Nutrition, or even just the laying out of the containers, is that Autumn lays out exactly what containers to eat for breakfast, what to eat for snack, what to eat for lunch, for all 5 meals. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of everything. She pairs the containers that pair best together in Time Nutrition for you. So I am going to screen share and show you where you can find this information, okay? So if we go into our BeachBodyOnDemand.com, I have already logged in so that I am in my, I'm in. If we go to 80-Day Obsession, I have the Ultimate Portion Fix, you guys, and if you have that, you can find this information there as well. But not everybody has Ultimate Portion Fix, which is an additional cost. So if you do not have Ultimate Portion Fix, you can actually find the Time Nutrition right here under 80-Day Obsession. It is the nutrition program that was paired specifically with 80-Day Obsession. And so you're going to go to Program Materials and under Nutrition. So we should all know if we're using the containers, if we're in Plan A, B, C, D, E, whatever your container is, right? So you have all your food lists. Here's Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. I fluctuate between C and D, so I'll just use C for an example here. Now, you can follow Time Nutrition to a T, which you will see here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see. So in Plan C, you get 5 greens, 3 purples, 5 reds, 4 yellows, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 5 teaspoons, right? So like for me, my morning meals look like this because I work out first thing in the morning. So I typically have Shakeology, a scoop of oats, a handful of spinach, and I have been doing, my teaspoon is my unsweetened almond milk right now because I'm doing the peppermint mocha. So that is what I drink in the morning when I'm waking up. And then this is what my meals look like through the rest of the day. Okay. So this is Time Nutrition. She's telling me what to eat before. I have my Energize. Then I have Hydrate during my workout. Then I have a piece of fruit, so a purple container, along with my Recover post-workout. And then 1 to 2 hours after that, I'm having my post-workout meal, which is a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon. Now, these meals down here, you can intertwine. So the containers have to stay together, like this is a meal, this is a meal, this is a meal. But you could like move option number 3 to number 1 if you wanted, and then number 1 to number 3 if that suited what you were having for dinner with your family better that evening. So you can kind of intertwine these. Now, that's being pretty focused. And if you're like, well, I want to have a little bit more flexibility and I just really want to understand how to use the containers better what meals are going to pair up better together? How do I even start this meal planning? I just don't understand, or I feel overwhelmed with getting started. This is where you start, right here. She gives you 5 meals and she's already paired all the containers for you. So you just fill in what you're eating for those containers, okay? If you're not sure, you don't remember, go back to the food lists, which was right here, okay? Food lists. You can also find the food list under 21 Day Fix. The 80 Day Obsession food list is slightly different. It's a little bit more strict than like the 21 Day Fix food list. But that's this right here, going to this and screenshotting this rest day meal plan right here is a really good guide on how to properly space out your meals and pair your containers. Now, again, number 5 could be switched with number 3. They can be intertwined. I personally try to follow where I'm getting most of my sugars. So your sugars are coming from your fruits and your carbs. This one has carbs going in later. But I personally try to get those in first thing in the morning because our carbs and our natural sugars that are coming from our fruits are how we have energy, okay? We really don't need carbs and sugars when we're going to bed. And when we do, our body processes them differently and holds on to them, right? So we want to use those earlier in the day to burn through them and to utilize them for energy. So I hope that this helps. If you're still struggling with finding a meal plan, please speak up. Speak up, because we are here to help you. We can't do it for you. Like, I can't come to your house and meal plan and prep for you. I'm sorry. It's it's something that I'm not always excited to do for myself, but I do it anyway because I've become disciplined in doing it. But I am more than happy to help you find a rhythm that works for you. It's finding the foods that you enjoy putting in those containers and mix and matching them, and kind of finding the few recipes or whatever that you really love that are easy for you to make and writing them down and cycling them. And one last tip I'm going to give you with meal plan. I have a stack probably that thick hanging on the side of my fridge because I save all of my meal plans. I don't toss them when I was writing them out all the time. So that way, if I'm not feeling very inspired, or I'm just really tired, or we're ready for a change in our meal plan and we've been eating the same foods over and over and over, I go back to an old meal plan and there it's done. I don't have to rewrite it. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It is done. I pull it. I make my grocery list off of what I need, and bam. It makes it super, super simple, you guys. We tend to overthink things and complicate it because we already are in the back of our mind thinking, I can't do this. This is going to be too hard. It's going to take too much work. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to take some work. It's going to be a change in your routine. But if we are looking to lose weight or to create more energy or to have better health, we're going to have to change what we're doing now, right? So that means we're going to have to put in a little bit of work because the change isn't just going to happen. So super proud of you girls for asking questions. Let me know below, and Leanne, either of us, if you have more questions about this video, about meal planning, how to kind of plan ahead for this week, because it is a holiday. Get your Shakeology in, get your water in, get your workouts done this week, and keep yourself focused, and already know in your mind that you are staying focused this Thanksgiving and this holiday season because you're doing this for you and for your family, and no one else needs to know any answers, okay? I love you all. Thank you all for listening. I will talk with you soon.